Hello, hello, hello. It's Dr.Uly. The doctor is in. And tonight, I wanted to talk a little bit about the 1980s. Yes, indeed. I was watching TV the other day, and a movie came on that I had not seen in a really long time, featuring a group of actors which was famously known as the Brat Pack. And the film was St. Elmo's Fire. And watching that movie, I started to think about the 80s, and I actually started to miss it. I was like, wow, how far have we come? I mean, like, wow, just looking at the way things were and how people dressed and carried themselves and the music they listened to, I was just like, wow, I really am missing. I'm almost going to get choked up. So I thought I would talk tonight about just some of the things that made the 80s very memorable to me. And the probably number one thing is the music. As you hear in the background, I have Miss Janet Jackson, Miss Jackson if you're nasty, playing from her Control album. And this was one of the first albums that really caught my ear as a kid. Of course, there was Michael Jackson, who sort of dominated the world. But Janet Jackson, I was a very, very big fan of hers. I actually think I have the CD still. I believe I took the actual vinyl record to school one day, because we had a class party and we could bring music from home, and so I borrowed my cousin's record, and I was like, can we play this? And I got down. I loved it. So Janet Jackson, very, very, very big person that I hold dear to my heart from the 80s. Still do, but the music was just so good. I mean, not just her, but I loved, like Lisa and Cult Jam. I loved the Bangles. I loved, Luther Vandross, Aretha Franklin. Like they had some great music going on. In Excess, Duran Duran. I can't even keep going because I'll make this whole video about that. But anyway, yes, the music of the 80s was awesome. Another thing, television was great, and in particular, as a young child growing up, cartoons was the mainstay of my viewing schedule. So I just have to say, and I know you all probably would agree, the television, children's programming of the 1980s in particular was so far superior, much more superior than what it is today. I mean, there was great animation, there were actually really good stories, and they sort of encouraged kids to use their imagination and to sort of think outside the box every now and then, instead of sort of giving them too much of the adult aspect of things too soon. So I think a lot of that kind of viewing really played into my development as a person. And so there were a few cartoons that definitely struck a chord with me. Of course, there's the Smurfs. Very, very, very big fan of the Smurfs. There were the Snorks, their underwater cousins. Come along with the Snorks, remember that? And, I love G.I. Joe and He-Man. And in particular, I was a big fan of Jim and the Holograms. Don't act like you don't remember Jim and the Holograms. Jim was truly, truly, truly outrageous. Jim. So, I loved her so much. In my adult life, I ended up getting Jim on DVD. Yes, indeed. I am holding season 1 and 2 of Jim and the Holograms. I am still a big fan, and it was a truly defining, life-changing cartoon for me. So, anyway, we love Jim. And last but not least, sort of tied to TV in general, were the commercials. I loved commercials back then because as a kid, I wanted to sort of be on TV. I wanted to be a kid in the commercial. There was McGruff the Crime Dog, take a bite out of crime. And there was, the Life cereal commercials. Hey, Mikey, he likes it. So I got to the point where I was memorizing how the songs would go and the lines and the inflections, because I was like, I want to be in a commercial. But it never happened. So I guess that's why I'm acting out now, and I sort of tend to act out in my adulthood. so don't judge. But probably one of my favorite commercials to this day from the 1980s is Elizabeth Taylor's White Diamonds commercial. And I'm gonna do a mini reenactment. Y'all remember this? So she's coming in, and it's like in Casablanca or somewhere. She's looking all fierce in her like white Chanel suit or whatever it was, and she's like, "Not so fast, O'Brien." And then she's going, "These have always brought me luck." White Diamonds, the new fragrance from Elizabeth Taylor. Don't you just love that? Yes, I know I'm crazy. But anyway, I just thought that's all I'm going to do. I thought I would do a little trip down memory lane and just share some of my fond memories of that decade known as the 80s. The totally rad, wicked 80s. So, let me know if you guys have any fun memories from that time. I think it was a wonderful time to be alive and to be an American. And I think we're starting to get back to that sort of pride in our country that we definitely had back then. And we're starting to finding our own identity. But I love that time of my life. And I'm curious to hear if you were alive back then. What were some of those key moments in your life during that time? So get in touch with me, let me know, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Have a good one. Until then.